Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we're going to look at method 3, which is our auxiliary method for finding the VTH for our plane that contains this lamina that we're given here. So here is our setup with our elevation and our plan, and we have our 3D over here, and we're going to use our method 3 to solve the vertical and horizontal trace. So the beginning of this method starts off with just finding a true length line on our lamina. So to find a true length line, the first thing we do is we draw our horizontal line on the actual lamina in elevation. So there is our horizontal line from any of our points. I could have picked, I picked this point here, but I could have picked this point over here, or I could just go, well, actually, you don't want to go across the two here because this is vertical. You wouldn't be able to find where he is in our plan view. So maybe, yeah, a little bit of planning with that work goes a long way. So we can see we have our point here already in our plan view. We just project this down onto our front edge here, giving us the angle of our trace line, or what's known as our strike line in our plan view. And because that line is a horizontal line in elevation, he will be a true length line in plan view. And method 3 basically says that if we look along our true length line on our lamina, we'll see the lamina as an edge. So that's our and we will automatically see the plane that it's sitting on as an edge as well. So we're looking perpendicular to our strike line, so that's 90 degrees there to our green line here gives us our x1, y1. That's our plane here seen from above, and we project our lamina onto it, giving us an edge view of that lamina. So we project each of our points parallel with our green line here, and we take our heights from two views back. That's our elevation to the XY line. So there is our edge view of our lamina, and you can see our plane that we're trying to find is sitting on that lamina, so he will also be seen as an edge here. So there he is like so. And you can see the horizontal trace in our auxiliary is seen as a point view there, where the actual plane meets the ground being the x1, y1 line in our auxiliary. So there's our point view there. So we project him back into our plan view, and he will be parallel to our green line here like that. So that's our horizontal trace there in our plan view. And to find our vertical point on our vertical trace, we go and take a sample point somewhere on our vertical trace from our plan view. We know that the vertical trace here is going to be seen on the XY line. So remember, the back wall here is seen on the XY line in our plan view. So we just pick any point that we want, and we're going to just simply project him into our auxiliary, giving us our point in our auxiliary. So we start with, in our plan view, we take a point on the XY line. Again, he could be anywhere along there, and then we bring that into our auxiliary, and it sits on the lamina or on the edge view of the surface itself. So there's our point like so. And that point there is a point on our vertical trace. So we project it up into our elevation. We take our height from our auxiliary, and we mark our height off there, and there is our vertical trace there, completing the actual surface itself. So that's method 3 then, to find the vertical and horizontal trace of our plane that contains our lamina here as we're given it. So yeah, that's the final of our methods here for this. Hopefully now, from looking at these series of videos, you're getting a much better idea of how to find the vertical and horizontal trace. A common enough question, maybe as a part B or a part C to a question.